Yeah, it's almost 11 p.m. I did it again. I did it again where I get home from work and immediately go to bed. This time I woke up though because I think I was just cold and not completely comfortable, and I am going to hurry up and get back into bed soon so that I don't mess up my sleep. Because what happens is when I do that, like I go to bed and I wake up in the middle of the night and I stay up for a while, it's like I'm going to bed at 11 and I'm super tired when I get up for the gym. So I don't want to cause a break in my sleep for too long, but I did want to make this video because of course I feel compelled to, and I know I keep talking about this job. I don't give a fuck. And I need to just voice my way through it. And, today was a rough day. Today was a rough day. This whole week was difficult. And again, I am keeping myself there because of all the reasons why I'm keeping myself there. I feel like it's rational. I feel like you need the money, stay until the end of the year. All these reasons why, even though it is soul sucking. Like I told myself to tune in to how I feel when I'm at work, and I can be so great in the morning, which I usually am. I love my morning routine. As soon as I get on campus, I'm drained. I don't even have to get out the car. I feel the energetic shift as soon as I get on campus. It's to the point where even if I get there early and I just tune into how I'm feeling, like, what do you want to do? I don't want to get out the car. I don't want to get out the car. I just stay in the car and sleep because I feel so drained. And I'm just like, let me just get one more nap in before I get out. And like I said, there's things like I'll take note on certain students that just make me soft, that have such a pure heart. And then there are days like today, and I also understand that I know that no, I won't even put that in there. I know that nothing is perfect. But for me to feel so heavy when I'm at work, like it takes all of my effort to put one leg in front of the other just so I can be at the place. That is not it. And like today, it was crazy. And I know where I went wrong. I know where I went wrong with today. Like, I'm sure the students were probably confused about where to sit possibly, because they saw me sitting at the table with a whole bunch of teachers, but I was also sitting at our usual table. And I feel like they know, because we've been doing the same thing all year. They've been there longer than me, but I'm sure they know that you sit with your teacher. It doesn't matter who's at the table, you sit at your table. And most of my students were not at the table today. And I was just sitting there, like, I was looking around to see where they were in the cafeteria, and most of them were not even in the cafeteria. They weren't there. So when the time rolled around for us to clean up, because our closing procedures for lunch is we pick someone to get trash, sweep, wipe tables. I'm sitting around looking like, who can I get to do this? And it's like, no one's really here. No one's, for my class, is at this table. And I damn sure am not about to expend energy to go looking for them when I don't even see them in the cafeteria. So when the time came, I was like, you know what? I'm going back to class. I'll just wait for them at the door. They have to come back to get their stuff. They, they don't even know. They don't come back around the right time. They all come trickling in. I just tell them, come in, have a seat. Come in, have a seat. Like, I know we're supposed to transition, but no. I'm going to talk to y'all first because what y'all did today, we can't have a repeat of that. That's insane. Because you know the lunch procedure. They come in, why you leave us? Why you leave us? Trying to turn it around on me like I just left them. You think I'm about to go around looking for you when you're not even in the cafeteria? You think that's what I'm about to do? No. I'll wait for you at the door. And so they come in, why you leave? Why you leave? Like, they take no kind of accountability. It's fucking annoying. But I'm like, come in, have a seat. Come in, have a seat. So they come in, they rowdy. I'm like, we gotta go. Dude, just talk. I'm like, come in and have a seat. Stop talking to me. Come in and have a seat. I fed into it because why are you going back and forth with children? Why? Ignore their asses. And so I went ahead and called security because I was like, I need somebody else because you're going to hear what I have to say. And I was like, y'all, I don't care where I am. One, I was at our correct table. It doesn't matter who is at our table. You sit with your teacher. Y'all know this. You know the lunch. This is nothing new. What the fuck? It's nothing new. So don't try to make it seem like, oh, I ain't tell you where to go. Also, at the end of the table, you see your teacher's name at the end of the table. You didn't want to sit with them. I did have some students in the cafeteria, but they were at different tables, and I told them to come to the table. Didn't even come. Sat and looked at me, turned around, kept doing what they were doing. I'm like, yo, these kids, like, and I'm not about to be doing all that yelling. Because to me, that's stressful. It is stressful. I don't even do that yelling in my own life with people that I actually fucking care about. Not to say I don't care about y'all, but people who are really in my life, like loved ones. It takes a lot for me to even get there with them. So why would I expend all that energy on you? Yelling, screaming. No, I'm not busting no blood vessel, raising my blood levels, my stress levels, my blood pressure for you. No, I'm too bougie. I'm sorry. So one student, I'm like, come in, have a seat. She comes, gets her stuff, pushes past me, keeps going. I'm like, oh. And their excuse is, we don't want to be late for class. Well, if I'm holding you as a teacher for a reason, that is a step higher than you saying that you don't want to be late for class. I'm holding you for a reason because obviously you did something you weren't supposed to do. So you think that because the bell has technically rang, I still don't have authority to tell you what to do? That you being late for class trumps what it is that I asked you to do? And then kind of pissed me off because I'm sitting here, I'm like, I'm trying to do the right thing, get the help that I need, and for another person, another teacher, to be like, well, they came immediately to my class to avoid being late. I just said that they were supposed to have a discussion, and we were in the middle of a discussion with me and security, and they left. Them getting into the next class, that doesn't really matter. They were with me and they left without permission. I understand that they came back late anyway. I understand that it's after class. They came back late because they were doing what they were not supposed to be doing. So, I don't know. It was just all that happened, and no, I asked for what I want in the group chat. I put all the names of my first block. And that's the other thing, too, because when you have an issue with your class, the next day you don't have them for lunch. So even if you wanted to reprimand them for whatever, it's like the schedule shifts. So you have a different class for lunch the next day. And in order to give consequences to the previous class, it's like you got to set something. It's just a mass inconvenience. So I'm letting the teachers know, like, I want these students to. I really rarely had anyone respond, not the people in power that I need to respond. I get it, people are busy and stuff, but yeah, it just, because it makes you feel like, what are you supposed to do? Just, and that's one reason why, like, as situations have happened through the year, it's just kind of like, this is why I don't push certain things. This is why I do what I need to do to conserve my energy. Like this right here, I feel like I need to say something because I'm going to continue to have them for lunch. And I don't want this to happen again, because for me to not even know where my class is, I just feel like that is a huge issue for safety reasons and all, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can't do this again. Like, those are things that I will enforce. You know what I'm saying? And it's just kind of like, if I can't get what I need, why would I enforce anything? Why even be here? Like, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. And then the students, I call security, I'm talking to them, they just get their stuff, start walking. I'm like, it's disrespectful. Very disrespectful. And the security guard is just like, write him up. Write him up. And I'm just like, so what's going to happen next? So these students who just said, fuck you, I'm supposed to let them back in my class? Like, what's really going to happen? Because at this point, I'm done. Like, at this point, I don't even want them back. Because if you can't respect me, we have nothing to talk about. Like, respect is huge. Respect is huge. And you may not like something that I do, but at the end of the day, I don't ever disrespect you. So for you to think you gonna disrespect me and then come back in my face the next day, you got me fucked up. Like, I don't care how old you are. And that's the thing, like, you aren't backed up at all. It's like, as a teacher, you're just supposed to take it. You're just supposed to take it. It's just education. Nah, how much of it are you really supposed to take? Like, disrespectful ass students, you're supposed to continue. And then it's like, okay, should I call? That's the thing too. Should I call home? Because these are some of the same kids that I've had issues with, and I've called home. No real change. in a way, I'm not gonna say there's no real change necessarily, because there are some people that I've called home for, and there's some sort of change. Not, I'm not gonna say not huge, because there are some that are better, but they still disrespectful in many ways. They probably aren't doing it to the extent that they were, but still disrespectful, still very like now they're just a lower kind of disrespectful. It's not what it was before. I can deal with it stress wise a little better, but it's still disrespect. Like when I really thought about it, like the one time the other week when I kept my student for no HAC and no and silent lunch, I'm sitting here thinking like, Nashima, honestly, he is acting better than what he normally does. It's just that you're at a point where you're tired of talking. And so you're like, okay, I'm going to go down this behavior matrix so I can go ahead and give him some sort of consequence, like a real feeling, so he can know like this ain't what I'm supposed to do. But in reality, Shima, he's not even at the max of what he normally does. It's just that you're lowering that threshold so that he knows that this is not acceptable. This is something that should have been happening. But when I tuned in, I was just like, and it's sad I have to look at it that way. Like, he's still fucking annoying, but not as annoying as he usually is. And that's just like, why do you have to deal with that, period? Why can't I just come to school and do what it is that I need to do? I don't even have the energy to do what it is I need to do because you're dealing with so many other things. And it's like, is this just a Title I thing? And I think that's the other thing that sometimes comes up, but it's just like, nah, fuck this shit. I ain't doing this nowhere else. Like, I'm done. Like, my mom's husband gave me the number of someone else from a different county. I'm just like, I don't, when I tune into really how I feel, I don't even want to do that. Yeah, I hear great things about this place, but anywho, back to my story. So kids start walking out, right? I went ahead and dismissed all the rest of the students. Didn't hear from who I needed to hear from as far as pulling the students like I want. Came home. I was supposed to do something after work. I was supposed to message people back and everything. Like, I just ignored everything. I went straight to bed. Straight to bed. I thought, again, that I was going to get up. Didn't get up. Until now. So it just kind of, it makes me feel like... I just finished watching this video with this guy talking about, just the signs and things that he was feeling when it was time for him to change his job. And he was just like, things started happening, like negative things started happening more and more. And it scared him. He said he had 2 great jobs, and he was an entrepreneur, and they provided his living, and he had a family. And these things started happening, and it scared him because he was just like, he knew what it meant. He knew that it meant it was time for that thing to phase out of his life. And so he ended up closing both of his places. He did medical marijuana, and his name is Victor Odo, I think. But he did medical marijuana, and he had a fitness studio. And he closed both of them down, and he didn't have any money coming in. Like, it was a very scary time, but he said what he did, which is what that interview yesterday that I watched with Jay Shetty, I think it's Shetty, and Cynthia Evero, I think that's her name, but they mentioned this too. But he said what he did was he just kept moving forward. He followed his intuition and he kept making steps forward. And as he moved forward, ideas would come and things would come to him that he needed to do. And I feel like that's where I am. I know that I have been trying to create what it is that I'm trying to create while I'm still at this place, but no money from anything yet has come in. I'm just putting it out there so I can get into the flow of doing it. But I do feel like things are not really going to shift until this chapter is closed. Until it's closed. And I tell myself, I've tried to tell myself, like, Nashima, come in, do the best that you need to do, be as positive as you can, just do whatever you can out of love, still be good to them, all this stuff. And it's just like, one, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like doing anything else with them at this point. And two, I can come in with the best of intentions. Like, I know me, I know my spirit. And I know that I'm not a person to, like, I'm going to come in and give you love. I'm going to come and give you love. But one thing that I realize is, like, Nashima, you're not feeling the way that you're feeling out of no reason. You are good to everyone that you first meet as much as you can. You know what I'm saying? And so you're feeling some kind of way. You're reacting to in some sort of way because of how they are acting. Like, it's not coming out of nowhere. They are acting some kind of way and you're responding. You're feeling, the way that you feel is a response to what's going on. It's not coming out of nowhere. These kids are getting on your goddamn nerves. Like, that's what it is. And so it's draining you. It's draining you. And yeah, it's not every single student, but it's an overwhelming amount, back to back to back. And it's just like, yo, this is not healthy. This ain't healthy. And I just be wondering, like, y'all expect for people to just go through this, like, to deal with this. Like, this is normal. But also, the same people who think it's normal, you're also not in the classroom. Or you're in the classroom and this is a norm for you. Like, this is normal to you to be in such a high stress situation to the point where it's normal. Or you're used to not really being happy. This is normal for you. And that, I think that's the thing. Like, I am used to myself being happier. I am, and I'm not saying I'm happy-go-lucky all the time, but usually my spirit is more joyful. I'm joking around. I'm energetically in a different place. So this is not me at my highest. And it's also not fair to them too. Like, even though, yeah, they're doing things, I try to remember that they're children, but for you to not even want to be here, like, you are annoyed with everything they do, that's not fair to them either. It's not, even though they can be fucking annoying. Like, they can be fucking annoying. Like, I just be like, I don't even like hearing you laugh right now. Like, and that's what I know. Like, this shit, I keep it to myself because I another thing is I want them to be. You know, I feel like that's the other thing too, that I give them space to do, to just be. Even though them being can be annoying to me. Oh my God. Because I'm just thinking, like, I got a student, like, his laugh, I just be like, shut up. But laugh, baby, because ain't nothing wrong with you laughing. You can be joyful. It is me. Not joyful. I'm the one who's feeling some kind of way at the moment. Laugh. Let me just tune your ass out. But yeah, I'm just yeah, I know it's time. It's time. Still trying to get through to the end of the year, but when I tell you, it is very difficult. As far as the co-workers part, there are some people, well, yeah, there's some people who don't really talk to me or don't really like talk. I can feel the energy. I can feel it. Like I'll say something or she'll look down the hall. I'm just like, why look down the hall and not say hey? Like I do like, I really do like my coworkers. For real, I really do. Even the ones that don't really fuck with me like that, it's just kind of like, you funny to me, for real. Like, stop. You're showing yourself. Um, but it's so funny because I'm just like, I'm not a person. For me to not speak to you, there's got to be something else there. Like, again, where I feel like this person don't really fuck with me like that, and I'm tired of saying hey, and they just kind of they just kind of smile, keep walking, or like sometimes it gets tiring picking the higher road all the time, but I know that that's what I'm supposed to do. But you got some people who, and I like now I try to make it an effort to still speak, even if I could tell you don't want to speak to me. It's like, this shit childish. And we too fucking old. And you way older, so I don't know why you acting this way. I just think people want something to do, and when they don't have other things going on in their life, the dramas at school, they're thriving for them. It's like, oh, drama. Or someone to be upset with. Like, girl, you got the right one, because I will match your energy and pretend like your ass don't fucking exist. Like, for real. Like, I don't understand not liking someone when you got enough going on in your own life. And that's how I feel. Like, I don't give a fuck about what you got going on. If you choose to not be here for the rest of the year, that's your business. That has nothing to do with me at all. At all. It don't. I got enough dealing with my own mental shit, because I'm dealing with my own mental shit. And to be worried about what you got going on, too much on my plate. And I think that's the other thing too. Like, when you got people who aren't doing what they need to do for themselves, they're going to put their energy into other people, because you're not doing what you need to do for you. So you are projecting onto me because you ain't doing your work. You got shit you need to be doing for yourself. That's why you got the extra energy to care about what somebody else is doing and what they got going on and whether they hear or not. Girl, I'm just saying. But I'm like, hey, how are you? Because it's not that deep. It's just not. Baby, that's how you age yourself. Worry about other people. Oh my God. I'm gonna go brush my teeth. Oh my. But that's why I'm like, I'm okay either way. Whether I stay. Actually, I'm not. I'm just wading through the water. I'm just like, just take it one moment at a time. That's always my answer to everybody because I don't know what to say. I'm just taking it one moment at a time. I take it second by second. And then after all that, a second block came in. I took them to the bathroom, and they was being loud and all that stuff. And I'm just like, let's go back in. So everybody didn't finish going to the bathroom. One student was like, I know you pissed off at your last block, but can we please? I'm just like, first of all, yes, I am annoyed with them, but what they did and how I'm acting or how I acted towards them and what you guys are doing and how I'm treating you, two separate things. I'm not going to take out how I feel towards them onto you as far as how I treated you. I'm bringing you inside because of your own actions, because you're not listening. He was quiet. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to not take you to the bathroom because of the previous class. No, Shaw, shut up. Like, and this is the thing. Whether I am doing whatever with them in the classroom academically, I'm still doing work. These interactions still work. That's why when I come home, I'm fucking tired because I'm still working. Because the other part of what it is that we do and everything that we do is how we treat them. How we treat, to me, that's bigger than anything else. At this point in the game, I'm a growth mindset person. I know that I can still do whatever to help them academically. I know that they still have the potential to grow and all that stuff. But I also know it's a week or two now, a week before the EOGs. And at this point, it's all on you. I done did everything that I could do. You've been preparing all year. All year. I'm tired, you tired. And I'm going to honor that energy and be honest and say I'm fucking tired. Yeah, I ain't doing nothing else. We've done everything that we could do. I'm giving them the quizzes. We'll review over them. Like, we doing stuff, but we also are having a lot of like, look, take your quiz, stay in your seat, read a book, do some makeup work. It's wind down time. It is. I'm not about to be pumping and pumping and pumping and pumping and let's do this. Let's do, like, I'm tired. And they tired too. And that's the thing, because we are so out of tune with ourselves and with other people. We ain't reading the room at all within ourselves at all. What do you feel? Are you tired? Okay, then take a break. And that's how I feel. I'm tired. I'm going to rest. And even with me resting, I'm still doing a lot. Because you're not ever not really doing anything. When you're working with children, you're doing something all the time. All the time. And I think I handle it very well for the most part. Because, like I said, I be hearing other people yelling, fussing, kids running amok down the halls. At least I got them in check for the most part. Like, I be seeing some students run through the halls on the way from the cafeteria. And I'm like, what the fuck is y'all doing? Because one, I don't think you would be acting like that if you were in another teacher's classroom. You know right from wrong. The fact that you act one way in one class and act totally different in another class shows that you know what it is that you're doing. You're playing the game because you know that you're allowed to do that in that class. Yeah, you couldn't be in my classroom. Fuck that shit. You wouldn't like my ass. you ain't gonna like me. I'm shutting that shit down. And I feel like the students that I have issues with, it's the same students everybody else got issues with. There ain't nobody doing that. Ain't no consequences given to them, so they feel like they can do whatever they want. Because ain't nobody doing nothing. And I just feel like at this point, if at this point, it's beyond me. It's beyond me. So if they ain't gonna listen to me, they don't need to come in my classroom. I'm sorry. They don't need to come here. That's the thing. Like I be having, whenever it gets to the end of the year sometimes, and I've had this be at other schools where it's like, I've done everything I can do with this student. I've called, I've did this, I've done that. This person cannot come back. They cannot come back because if you can't listen to me, you don't need to be in here. Shit, and this is shit that I be seeing with myself and other, like, even with me and with positions of authority. If I can't listen to you, I don't need to come back either. I know what I need to do. I know what I need. I know what I need to do. I'm no fool. Look, I ain't adhering to your rules. So I don't need to come back. It's clear as day. And it's not that I'm so rebellious that I won't ever listen to rules. I'm just not gonna listen to shit that ain't for me. Yeah, no. I can work well with people and in teams and stuff. This one ain't the right one because I know what it's like when I'm in a setting where I want to be there and I'm happy and the people around me you know what I'm saying? Even though, disclaimer again, I do like my coworkers, even the ones that don't really care for me like that. They funny. Funny as fuck. But it's the job. It's the job. I'm grateful that I have worked in a place at least twice in my life where, oh, this feels good, you know. There were problems there as well, but it wasn't like this. So I'm gonna go. This is 40 minutes long. You know I talk. I'll keep talking. So go and brush my teeth and just kind of wind down. Hopefully I can go back to sleep. But I'm more so documenting this because it's my story. And I know I'm going to be able to look back and be like, dang, I remember when I was in that situation where because I've been doing research too, like, dang, like, what does it mean when you're energetically drained at your job? Like, you can have all the energy in the world and you pull up to the job and you instantly feel drained. Like, what does that mean? What does it mean that when I'm here and I'm so negative? What's that mean? Why are all of these things happening and I am like going toe to toe with these students? Like, what does that mean? Like, what is going on? And I think it's just because this is being phased out of my life. And, you know, I'm also trying to do things now to prepare myself for later, and I have been doing things, and it's just like I really feel like things are going to start rolling until this chapter is closed. And so I just want to be able to look back on this time and remember how I felt and remember how confused I felt, and hopefully, because I have a vision of where I want to go, but hopefully it will help someone else when they see, oh, she's here now. You remember when she made that video when she was talking about that job and she was drained, and now I know what that means. And like, it may not necessarily help them figure out what to do, but in that video there was clarity. You could just move forward. You follow your gut and you move forward. That's the best thing that you could do. And I think because I'm not moving forward necessarily, not really, I still got one leg in. The clarity, the full clarity is not going to come. And I know I felt that before in other places in my life, other times in my life where I was stuck, keeping myself stuck because I still wanted to be in that place. And as soon as I detached, that's when the clarity came. It was just like, oh, the blocks are removed because I've let that go. So I know that that's going to happen again because this has to go. This has to go. There's no choice. It's the end of the year. It's the end of the year. So I'll be able to move forward. I think, maybe I'll get more clarity once this chapter is closed as far as what I should have done. Because I'm just like, I don't ever want to be in this situation again where I am staying in something even though I know the time has expired. Out of fear. That's ultimately what it is. Out of fear. You want your last paycheck because you know that this chapter, this contract is closing. But damn, was it worth it? And if this were to happen again, would you do what it is that you need to do? Or have you learned enough to not let this happen again? To know your value and your worth and not even put yourself in a situation where you are lowering yourself. So I'm trying to figure out the lesson. That's what it is. Like, if this were to come up again, hopefully God willing not, but if this were to come up again, would you leave? Or is it you won't get yourself in a situation like this because you understand your value? So this is the standard, and if whatever you're about to do doesn't meet the standard, you don't even accept it. I hope that's what it is, because Lord knows. I'm so tired. Oh my God, it's crazy. So I'm gonna leave it here. I think the big lesson is to remember to choose yourself. And as long as you're choosing yourself, and that's the thing, I don't really feel like I'm choosing myself. I think I am, because I think I'm doing what's most logical. But I don't think God will have you ride this wave of, I don't know, fuck it. I don't know. Because I'm still deciding to be here. So at this point, it's me. At this point, it's me. I can't even say. But I'm gonna go. Come on here tomorrow.